Hey, Stephanie, your mind-body connection coach. So I was having a conversation this morning with a beautiful young lady, friend of mine, and actually we're becoming quite close. And she's having some family issues around mental health. And you know, as a speaker, a trauma coach, a mental health counselor, coach, and speaker, I don't have all the answers. But what I have been noticing in my work and in my studies and with a lot of people is when we tell our story, we want to be the hero. We want to be the hero no matter what. And most of that, when we tell our story, is unconscious. We don't want people to look at us negatively. We don't want people to think of us as being bad or having made mistakes. So they stop looking at us in a good light. But I said to her, we all lie. And we do that because of those reasons that I mentioned earlier. We don't want to look bad. We don't want people to look at us in a bad light. We don't want to be thought of as we don't want to be judged. But I also said this, it's a mental injury or mental illness is like being in a war. And, you know, we had the Vietnam War that went on in the 60s. And America went over to fight the Viet Cong. But the thing about it is they never really knew who they were fighting because the jungles and the Viet Cong knew the jungles so well that they knew how to hide. They knew how to hide very well. And so the American soldiers and the Australian soldiers and the British soldiers were fighting people that they couldn't see half the time. And mental illness, mental injury is the same way because people will lie about what's going on in their life. They will lie about their drugs, about their alcohol, about their sex addiction, about their gambling, about their shopping, all of that, just so they can be seen in a great light. And so if you're trying to help people, whether you are a professional, whether you are a parent, whether you are a holistic person, if they're lying to you, if they're covering up, if they're trying to make themselves the hero in the story, you cannot really see them. You're blinded by what's going on. And when you're blinded, you cannot fight the war on a balanced and even ground. And therefore, it's hard to help people when they are hiding so well, when they are lying, when they are covering up. And as I said, a lot of that is subconscious. It's happening in the unconscious. But it's also conscious because they are crying out for help, but they don't know how to take the help. Because again, they don't want to be looked at as unworthy, unloved. They don't want to be looked at as being judged, not good enough. And all of that is playing out in their mental challenge, in their mental injury. So the hardest thing, and the thing that is an absolute must when clients come to me, is I say to them, don't lie to me. And I don't say that to make them a bad or a good person. I say that because in order to really get to the crux of what's going on with people, it's not the addictions that are happening now. It's not the violence or the abuse that's happening now. You have to track back. And you don't want to be able to track back from the current lies and then have to unpack all the different lies they told along the way. It's really like having an affair. If you're going to get back with your partner, because I think you can. I don't think affairs are the worst thing in the world. Okay? Perhaps, in Philadelphia, was it Philadelphia? There's a story day for yesterday of 7 kids who died in a fire. I think that takes precedent over someone having an affair, but that's just me. You know, there are things that we can get over, and then there's things we can't bring those kids back. But someone that's had an affair, if you want to get back in the relationship, if you want to rebuild on the relationship, you've got to start with the truth and then go back and unpack the lies and then find out where the injury occurred for that person. Why did that person actually have an affair? Okay, because a lot of times we don't want to find out the why. We just want to do the blaming thing. And it's the same thing when people are struggling with their mental illness and their mental injuries, their mental conditions. We just go, well, it's this, it's that, it's this, it's that. There is a small percentage of this or that. Just like there's a small percentage of having, it be a DNA, that mental illness, mental injury being DNA. But you have to track back. In order to track back, you got to go with the truth. And the people trying to help, you've got to stop with the judgment. You've got to stop with the finger pointing. You got to stop with the trying to fix and go back with them. Just like the movie, Back to the Future. You got to go back to get to the future. So that's just a piece I wanted to share with you guys today. If you want to follow me, of course, on the Instagram, Sanford McMurray _MWH. Or you can follow me on my kids channel, which is Sanford McMurray. It's Sanford McMurray. Sorry, it's Intrepid. Intrepid Sanford McMurray. So you can follow me there. This is a new year, so I'm trying some new things, but I'm still delivering the same message. Mental wealth is health. Mental wealth is health. You guys be good to yourself, and we shall talk to you soon. Remember to always, always love your mission.